Alright guys, it is time for another one of those videos to piss off the masses. What is up guys, John Claymore here, and we got to talk about this Washington Post study that states that men are driving let's just say the sexlessness, I say in sexlessness, so that way I could I don't know, maybe get around the algorithm a little bit, but we need to talk about this. And guys, before we get started here, we're going to be talking about this from different angles. Number one, I'm going to go ahead and double down on some of my previous takes about OnlyFans. We talked about a little incident that occurred the other day with another Twitter user. When we're talking about that, we're going to be talking about why it is actually both sides' fault. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about why this issue is quite frankly pretty well common sense. We're going to be talking about the dangers of stuff like OnlyFans and why it is it's actually driving the stuff down. Of course, I'm talking about porn. I'm talking about the loss of masculinity here. But I'm also going to be talking about why it is that I think some men are not exactly pursuing. And by that, I'm talking about the ladies. So yes, ladies, I already know you're going to be getting somewhat triggered here. But by this point in time, I don't think anyone cares, seeing how the vast majority of my audience is a male-driven audience. Now, with that right there being said, let's go ahead and dive into this. So basically, this study shows that men are actually just not getting laid. Men are not getting laid like they used to. Now, guys, I've been saying this in a few other videos, and before we go any further, I want to go ahead and talk about the two previous videos I made that were similar to this. By the way, I'll be leaving those videos in the description box and the comment section of this video here. Both videos, by the way, got strikes from YouTube. And I think I know the real reason why they got strikes. They got strikes because somebody probably complained. Of course, I appealed the suspension, and YouTube did, in fact, guess what? They did remove the strikes. Now, my initial thinking was because of the thumbnail, which I thought was kind of a lame strike because the thumbnail was nothing. But the thing is this right here, you get strikes sometimes for just about anything, and obviously certain communities are a little bit more sensitive to certain topics. But with that right there being said, I feel pretty comfortable talking about this issue. And by the way, I'm not a MagTow channel, so I don't talk about this issue very often, but I will be bringing it from time to time in some other videos and possibly even in projects. Now, guys, there are several reasons why men are not actually getting laid. And by the way, I'll be leaving the links to this article in the description box and also the links to other articles on this topic. And before we talk about the Twitter user incident, which, by the way, I think kind of further clamps down on what I'm about to say, a lot of this is really and truly common sense. Guys, the only way, and really quick, I'm not advocating for you men to go out there and just sleep with anything, okay? I just want to go ahead and say that right now. I'm not saying you need to go out there and get an STD or get some girl pregnant. That is not what I'm doing. I'm all about marriage, and of course, I'm all about being smart about things. But the thing that needs to be stated here is this here. Men, you need to kind of get up off your butts and actually go try. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be absolving women. We're going to be talking about women too, because obviously women, of course, they too, I think, bear some blame here as well. So I'm going to be equaling this out. But guys, how do you actually get a woman? It's not very, very often that a girl comes up to you and says that they want to marry you, go out with you, or sleep with you. That does not happen very, very often. It's very, very rare when it does. I mean, let's just go ahead and be honest. I mean, unless you're Tom Cruise or you're, I don't know, maybe, what's that? Any one of them male models or whatever them celebrities are on TV, they're just not going to just drop their panties for you, okay? It's just not the way it is. And a lot of these black pill channels, which, by the way, I think a lot of these black pillars are just guys who sit behind the computer and just, do that there. I think a lot of these people, I think, are doing everything they can to actually hurt men going in the future. Now, that's not to say that the red pill movement is not doing that. There are some things that the MagTow community says that I 100% agree with. I do believe that men need to have their finances in order. I do believe that men need to craft their game. I do believe that men need to self-improve. I also think women need to, too. I do agree with a lot of things that they say, even though I'm not a MagTow or one of those guys there. I'm also definitely not one of those guys who does the liminal order. You know that guy, Jack Murphy, the one who was a cuckold? Yeah, I'm completely against that crap there. What I'm trying to say to you guys is this right here. A lot of this stuff can be fixed if you just simply get out from behind the desk and actually go talk to people. Now, guys, it's a such thing called trial and error. You need to actually physically go out there and talk to these ladies. Put forth an effort, interpersonal communication. I understand that you're probably going to get shot down a lot, but that's kind of sort of how you learn. That's kind of sort of how you get better. You get better through failure. Now, you need to kind of just go ahead and put yourself out there. Some men, of course, they will fail and then they will turn right back around and never try again. No. You need to get back on the friggin' horse and you need to actually try. You need to actually put forth that effort and actually talk to the girl. By the way, this was also a bit of the contention that I had with the Twitter user, which I will get to here momentarily. But the fact of the matter is this right here. Go out, take a walk, socialize with people. Stop paying $24.99 for an OnlyFans subscription. The girl is never going to like you. She's never going to want to be around you. You're nothing more than a money pit to her. Give that crap up right away. As far as free porn is concerned, I don't literally care what you do. I kind of warned about this before. I don't know about you, but I would much rather be doing the act rather than watching someone else do it. I've always thought it was a little bit weird of people to actually abuse that. As far as Instagram and stuff like that is concerned, I kind of understand why you do it. It kind of keeps you motivated, but then again, sometimes it can be abused. So basically what I'm trying to say to you guys is actually get out there and go meet people, actually talk to people, actually converse with a girl, actually do that. The more you do it, the better you will be off in the future, and it would also at the same time cure a lot of the ills that we're about to speak about now. The lack of interpersonal skills, the lack of interpersonal relationships, the lack of actual testosterone is a problem. The incel culture itself is an actual problem. Now, guys, the other day I got into it with another Twitter user. This Twitter user is actually kind of famous. And by the way, I'm not going to be insulting this Twitter user. I'm not going to be speaking ill of this Twitter user. It's just a simple disagreement. It was not a mean, malicious argument or anything, but it's just something that I tend to disagree with. The person I'm speaking about is Jessica Vaughn. You guys are seeing these tweets here, and you're probably thinking to yourself, "Wow, God, you're gonna." No, I'm not gonna do that right there. I mean, I disagreed 100% with what the hell the girl said. She put up there that she did not like the idea of people treating OnlyFans girls mean, and my response to that is that basically what I did was I sent one tweet, and I said, I troll OnlyFans users because they're paying a certain amount of money for a product that they quite frankly could get for free on Instagram, which by the way, the vast majority of those OnlyFans girls do have Instagram pages where they share their stuff. They always leave the links in the description box and everything. I mean, if you've ever been on Instagram, you would actually see this. So the thing is this right here. Basically, what I'm saying to her is that you need to actually get out there and physically meet people. Her response, of course, you were seeing this, and somehow or another it got to communism. And then you got this guy up here who shared an even dumber tweet, who I think is somebody who actually works in the crypto stuff. I'm not going to dabble into that right now. My response to you is this right here. With OnlyFans and online porn and crap like that, you're actually accelerating the movement towards communism. Let me explain what I mean. You see, if you have a bunch of single men who are not getting laid, it will ultimately drive down testosterone levels and it will create frustration. That frustration, of course, leads to conniptions. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys right now, if you get upset, if you get angry, I've gotten upset and I've gotten angry before. I would much rather you voice your opinion, obviously angrily, of course. People have different ways of getting angry. What I do not stand for is actual conniptions. Conniption fits are a sign that a man maybe a little bit more on the effeminate side, actually throwing an actual fit. I've never actually found that to be manly. The thing is this right here. You need to actually go out there and physically talk to people. As I've said before in the previous segment, actually talk to the girl, talk to the woman, actually get to know her. Do whatever you want, okay? Of course, obviously be smart about it. Don't just go out there and sleep with every friggin' woman in the world. Don't get an STD. Fact of the matter is this right here. If you continue to sit behind a computer and you continue to look at stuff like OnlyFans content, if you continue to sit right back around a computer and look at free porn, it's not exactly fulfilling. The person is not right there beside you to actually bask in your actual mental and emotional stability. Part of the reason why you get married is because you actually love said individual, but they also provide not only sex, but they also provide an actual partnership with you. And they're also kind of sort of your best friend. In a lot of ways, I think about it this way right here. Your wife should always be, or your girlfriend should always be, your lover, your best friend, and potentially the mother of your children, your actual wife, if you guys are kind of picking up on what I'm saying. Sitting behind a computer and looking at said individual take their clothes off and paying money to do that just means that you're a simp. You're just simply reinforcing their bad behavior, and at the same time, when you walk away and do you're just simply reinforcing the whole thing that you, quite frankly, are just a lonely, testosterone-less little person. That's the only thing that you're doing is just creating more and more loneliness. You think you're fulfilled, but you're not. What you're really doing is just getting a very, very quick, high. You're just getting a very, very quick dopamine rush is all the hell you're doing. But at the end of the day, though, those quick dopamine rushes lead to eventually no dopamine at all and an extreme lack of testosterone. And at the end of the day, you're just going to be another lonely little incel, which, by the way, I think is the main thing that drives communism. You see, the thing about America is this, right? The thing about capitalism is that we're giving you the opportunity to go out there and actually put forth an effort, to actually try on your own, to actually do the things that, quite frankly, would make you successful. This is called being alpha. Whereas as you sit inside, and I understand there are people out there who have computer-related jobs. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not doing that, so please don't beat me up for that. If you're not actually physically trying to go out there and go get it, or if you're not at least trying to bring it to the yard or trying to better yourself, you're actually being quite beta and being quite feminine. Really quick, the left, especially leftist men, is very, very effeminate in nature. I don't know if Miss Vaughn understood this or if she got this. I personally think she's just trying to continue to sell the OnlyFans thing. I just go ahead and say that. The thing about the incels is that the vast majority of them, what we call bread tube, your Voshes, those guys right there, a lot of them have never even been laid or even tried to get laid. Now, of course, we found recently that Hassan Piker was one of those bros who tried to do self-improvement at one point in time. Don't even get me started on him because obviously he's an idiot, which I will go ahead and freely say here, regardless of repercussion. The thing you have to understand is that a lot of this equity crap is coming from there. It's actually coming from that actual aspect. I didn't get this. I put forth the effort. I failed. I screwed up. Well, I'm going to get mad and I'm going to demand free crap. I'm going to get mad and demand that you fix this. I'm going to get mad and demand that everything be equal regardless of effort. Honey, I hate to tell you this, but this whole OnlyFans thing and crap that you're pushing, that's actually fueling the move towards communism. That's actually fueling the move towards anarchy. You're not doing anybody any favors when you continue to promote that actual ideal or those ideas. And with that right there being said, now it's time to actually look at the women themselves. Guys, as I said at the very beginning of the video, I was not just going to put this right here just at the men. I'm also going to be pointing my fingers at the women too. Ladies, I don't know what it is, okay? All right, look, I don't have a girlfriend. I'm not married, but I have been in relationships before, and maybe women are not the same in the 2000s as what they were in like the 70s and the 80s. Of course, we know about the divorce rate skyrocketing soon after World War II, after the initial boomer period. We all know that boomers naturally tend to be a little bit more liberal. There's actually a split between them. We'll probably do videos on generations at a later date. But the only thing I can actually come up with is that you ladies sometimes are a little bit confusing. And I'm not saying this to kind of pick on you. Also, other reasons why men may not want to participate is, well, some of us don't really and truly know if said individual is even a female. Guys, I don't mean to pick on this individual, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bring this individual up. This is Blair White. Okay, I did not know who Blair White was until 2 years ago. And by the way, I've got no problem with Blair White. I really truly have no problem with Blair, okay? I got no issue, okay? I researched the person literally that day and found out that individual was actually biologically born a male. Okay. Now, there are a lot of people in the trans community that are actually men transitioning to women, and they actually look like women. Some men may be a little bit paranoid about this. By the way, Blair White's boyfriend released a video a while back saying that he did not think he was gay. Dude, I hate to tell you this, man. You're screwing another dude. You're gay, okay? I mean, we'll do a video on that at a later date. But the thing is this, and like I said before, I don't have a problem with her. I really truly don't. I'm just saying that this is kind of fueling the confusion. Another thing that you have to understand is that a lot of these trans are now going out of their way to tell men that, quite frankly, you have no choice but to date us. Dude, I don't have to date you. Also, something else too. The people who are overweight, who keep on saying that we're fat shaming them. Well, I hate to tell you this, but those who are constantly claiming to be fat shamed, they're kind of shaming other people. They're shaming other men because men don't want to screw around with a girl who's fat. Men typically tend to like younger women because they are healthier, they have better overall genes, and they can provide for us. Now, of course, some people are going to say maybe you shouldn't get married till you're 30. I don't think that rule applies to men. Men could get married in their 30s or their 40s to a woman in their 20s and still be very, very happy. I don't think that women in their 30s, I don't think women need to wait till their 30s to do that. I just don't think they should. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We're not going to get into that right now. But I think a lot of this is also being driven by the women too. So don't think for a second that I wasn't going to come in here and just blame men. As I said before, I was going to give out equal distribution to all parties. And with that right there being said, I need to go ahead and close this video on another very, very good note. Actually, guys, two very, very quick parts, okay? This right here is something I need to say. You have a lot of red pillars, you have a lot of black pillars, you have a lot of white pillars on the internet. I understand you may want to go talk to other guys about relationship advice and how it is to actually approach women. That right there is cool. I applaud you. Go right ahead and do that. But make sure you guys don't abuse that crap. Let me throw something out here. A lot of these dating channels and stuff are designed for men who have actual, honest-to-God, anxiety problems. Like they have actual social anxiety. For example, if I call Domino's Pizza and the person picking up on the other line is a girl, or I can tell that it's a girl, maybe it's a very, very attractive girl, all of a sudden I may shut down and get a little bit nervous, like, yeah, it's shaky and stuff, and a little bit worried. That right is called anxiety. Those channels right there are designed for those types of men. Okay, there is a video that was being made by a guy named Macabre Storytelling, which another guy named, I can't remember, this dude right here, I think completely misinterpreted, but I'll be leaving that video in the description box of this video here, because that video, by the way, was a very good video, and the guy actually made a lot of very, very good points. Now, with that right there being said, I want you guys to understand that that type of content is designed for people who have massive amounts of social anxiety. We'll use me, for example. I was a late bloomer, okay? I was very, very bad, very, very awkward with girls, and after a while, especially, it was really after I joined the Marines, I began to get more confidence, and I began to start approaching, and next thing you know, I actually had girlfriends. I was having one-nighters. I was having, this is obviously stuff that family members don't want to hear, but then again, I think they already know about. Flings, this, and all this stuff. Of course, relationships did not work out. And then again, I think a lot of it was timing. People need to kind of develop an actual way of thinking when it comes to actual relationships and stuff, and kind of sort of like kind of sit back and think to themselves, okay, well, maybe that wasn't the right time. The fact of the matter is that you should never give up. You should continue to fight. You should continue to go out there and try to pursue. Don't sit behind a computer and give some girl $24.99 a month, or give multiple girls $24.99 a month, so that way they can take your money and you not get not a single bit of even a hello that even comes from them. Trust me, most of the OnlyFans girls that you may would run into on the street, they don't even know your freaking name, and they do not care about you yourself. They may be nice to you very, very quickly, but don't think for a second they're going to go home with you, because quite frankly, they're not going to be doing that. Now, guys, with that right there being said, the next segment of this video, I'm going to talk about a couple of videos that are going to be released over this week. I want to go ahead and get that out there, and let's go ahead and move to that. Guys, I know I've been promising you guys a bit of a free speech video, which, by the way, is going to be coming out, especially now with Kanye West buying Parler, with Kanye West suddenly getting sued by George Floyd's family. Of course, we're going to go back and look in that video at Alex Jones's $1 billion lawsuit, or the amount of money he's got to pay. We're going to be looking about that, and we're going to be talking about why free speech is so important. That video is set to come out on Friday or Saturday. It's been kind of this has been the first week back, but also at the same time, some things, of course, have come up. Life is, things just occur. Also, something else too. There will be a video on Gear Issue 33 today about the second part to the nuclear strike stuff. And one more thing too, and I need to go ahead and put this out here. I know I'm a little bit late on this topic, but AOC was booed by her own voters in a town hall last week. Now, guys, the reason why I want to talk about that one tomorrow is because we need to talk about them and where the ideas come from. You see, I'm going to start pivoting, and I'm going to start looking at other leftist content creators and looking at exactly the ideas that they pitch and why it is that they're so dangerous to society. And, of course, we're going to be starting with that one there, which, by the way, is going to be a link. It's going to be by AOC and, of course, the town hall and how she got booed. And I'm going to be splicing that with the DSA meeting, which, by the way, the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, the ones who took over the Democratic Party in Nevada, we're going to be talking about that right there, so that way we can get a better understanding of why these Tide Pod eaters exist and why they are in fact Tide Pod eaters. Guys, John Claymore, if you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sign up in the comment section, and I'll see you guys later.